Hi everyone, it's a Poems and Pints. It's Rhian here. I hope you're all keeping safe and sane. Happy Easter, although this is probably the most unhappiest Easter ever for a lot of people, I suppose. I wanted to read some happy poems to cheer everyone up, but then I realised I haven't written any happy poems in my life. So here are some miserable ones. I'm going to read from my collection, The Last Polar Bear on Earth, which was published by Carmarthen a couple of years ago now. But I'll read some poems to you from there. Joan Baez. NASA found those other planets in the solar system. I stay up late and watch the news, wondering if there is any chance that somewhere out there is another life. I don't really care that those planets orbit a star, if their surfaces potentially support liquid water. I just want to know, does love exist there? Do they have dating websites where aliens can log on and search for other aliens? And is it as difficult there as it is here to find another alien who likes the same things you do? Listening to old Joan Baez records you find in the market, watching pornographic movies when the news isn't as interesting as it is tonight. Do they even know who Joan Baez is there? And are there aliens as weird as me? Cheers. Say something about yourself. I like to think of myself as interesting. I have been to university. I mostly got drunk, and to be honest, I didn't learn a thing. I like movies, especially ones where the world ends and somebody important dies, but I'm not a film director. If I was, I would never kill you off. I like to think of myself as reasonably attractive. I have blue eyes and black hair. I honestly really brush it. I like music, especially artists who lived a tragic life and died young, but I'm not a weirdo. I would never croak it and leave you behind. I like to think of myself as funny. I tell jokes that cause offence, and I don't know when to stop. I like girls, especially ones who look as good as you. I swear I've not said that to any of the others, and I'd really like to fuck. Ironic in here, this poem says, I have blue eyes and black hair. I honestly really brush it, which has never been more true than now. It's the first time I've actually brushed my hair in 2 weeks. Honestly, my hairdresser was shocked. It was full of dust coming out of that drawer. Yeah, mad times. We all got knotty hair and we all look like shit. Never mind. This is a poem about when I had the news I was diagnosed with MS, and I wrote a poem about it. It's called Special. I was practical about things at first. In fact, I took a morbid interest. I stopped going out with my friends, made a new pal in Google, and got excited about letters inviting me on dates with neurologists. I marked them out on the calendar, impatiently waiting for the next chance to piss into a cardboard pot, to get chemical dye injected into my veins for the magnetic resonance scans, keener still to see the photographs of my brain that they took, as if they were images of especially arousing porn. I never cried over my brain inflaming, wasn't afraid of my spinal cord eroding. Whoever got their heart broken by damaged sheets of myelin, not me. I never lost any sleep over my nerve endings being torched like letters from old lovers, and I easily forgave my immune system for attacking the good stuff in my body like a violent and abusive mother. My own mother cried when I told her the news. Her baby was sick, but she needn't have bothered. Her baby just felt kind of special. I told you they were all miserable. Thank you. 2 poems now from this edition of Poetry Wales. The first poem is called I Am the Captain. In films and TV shows I notice they always give boats female names, so I named mine after the best lover I ever had. It is rude to say something like now, I can ride her forever. I never did learn how to properly handle a vessel as mighty as a woman, but I turn the key in the ignition, the open ocean beckons, her engine rumbles, and I am the captain. Talking about mighty women, there's 2 quite mighty women there on my bedroom wall, as you can see. They are very mighty. My mother she thinks they're awful when she comes to visit. She's very she's very offended by them, but I like them. I think they're lovely to wake up to. First thing you open my eyes in the morning, the first thing I can see is these two lovely ladies. The next poem is Midsummer in Sweden, and this was written in Sweden. The first time we met, Dom was obviously in the airport, but we went to Sweden together for 3 weeks. I was meant to be going back next month actually, to finish writing my new book. But of course everything's gone to shit now. But I will be going back there, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's a place I really loved. I loved swimming in the lakes, and I loved the people, and I loved the Swedish beer especially. Yeah, but the most important thing is everyone's safe. Sweden will still be there at the end of the year. So anyway, Midsummer in Sweden. The potatoes are sliced in half, the meatballs are fried in oil, the salad is washed and tossed, slices of salmon are lifted out of a vacuum pack with a knife and delicately laid on a beautiful china plate. A wedge of lemon is placed in the middle, like a yellow island on a pink sea. There's pickled herring, chives or something, and soured cream. The wine flows as freely as the rain outside the window. We've been already down in snaps for since 10 a.m. Deadly shots of vodka with a hint of cumin or fennel or aniseed or something. This will be my fourth, and this is not going to end well, I know. But hey, I'm in Sweden. It's tradition. And who am I to fly in and question tradition? So those are the Poetry Wales poems. This is a poem I wrote about swimming. I love to swim. Obviously can't do that at the moment either. So all the things I love at the moment I'm not able to do. But I can't wait to get back in the water. I love being in the water. This is called First Date at the Swimming Pool. Will they split the cost of the chocolate bars and coffee from the vending machine? Will he be a gentleman and insist on footing the bill? She's preening, graceful as a swan in her pink Victoria's Secret swimwear. He's flexing, tiny muscles in his garish green summer holiday trunks. Shy new lovers showing off their swimming strokes, giggling and sneaking underwater peeks at skin, playfully splashing one another and grabbing limbs, holding hands and stretching like synchronized swimming partners. Give it a few years, love. You'll want to drown him. Thank you. Physio session. She pulls me about like I am Play-Doh. My legs bent here, my arms twisted there. Lady, can you shape me into something good? A dinosaur or a penguin? Anything you like, just please. Roll me out on the bed, thin and soft and squishy. Start me all over again. I think with regards to MS, I don't have any now of my routine appointments for at least 6 months, which is really strange considering I've been going back there like every month or so for the past 2 or 3 years. Of course, all the MS nurses, all the NHS staff now are on the front line trying to fight this stupid virus. So yeah, I got even more kind of respect for my MS nurses now than I did in the beginning, and I do hope they're all okay. Anyway, I'll read another poem. This poem is called The Last Polar Bear on Earth, which is obviously the title poem from this book, and it was the first poem I ever wrote properly. Yeah, and it's not really about a polar bear. It's about a cat, and it's not really about a cat. It's about a relationship that's ended. The last polar bear on Earth. The cat has noticed you are gone. She walks the empty half of the bed like she is the last polar bear on Earth, making her way across a vast and endless ice cap, stamping on your pillow and shifting from one paw to the other, she asks sadly, "Where is the other human who used to lay here? I liked her. She made the bed warm. The cat misses you." I also write, in this book I also wrote a lot of poems about my daughter. She's 14, not in school, But surprisingly, we're getting on really well. We haven't sort of caused each other any physical harm yet, which is an absolute miracle, I think. We're just kind of staying out of each other's way, which I think that helps a lot. So I'm gonna read a poem about my daughter. Day out at the zoo. Opposite our place, there is a creepy little garden, a forgotten graveyard buried under leaves. You get to it through rusty gates that flake like dead skin when you push them open. We go there sometimes, and my daughter gets excited when she finds the graves of babies. Today, beneath her Adidas trainers and worn-out letters on a slab of stone, a new one, a boy, 2 weeks old. We eat sandwiches on a bench and talk about death. It's cheaper than a day out at the zoo. Midnight curfew. You came like a storm the weather readers didn't forecast. Worse than Galveston and Harvey, bigger than a Bible story. You made Katrina look like drizzle. Bridges split like branches, overturned trucks lay in ditches like roadkill. The public library is now just rubble, and the city's double-decker buses float under more water like metal whales. I did not have a basement to shelter in. I didn't flee either, like a TV channel said we should. I ignored the midnight curfew set to deter the looters. I stayed out to watch the rain pour as the dam broke like my defences. No one could quite believe it. They had stood strong for years and years. The girl who cried wolf. When I was a weird kid, I always wanted to be ill. I was jealous of the boys with plastered arms that the girls signed their names on in different coloured felts. I was jealous of the kid in class with a hearing aid and the one in the wheelchair who was allowed straight to the front of the dinner queue. I thought that girl with a brain tumour was so lucky. Zooming up and down on my grandfather's stair lift, pretending I was crippled by a disease I invented, was my favourite game to play. And once I stole his crutches while he slept, convinced my teacher that beneath my tights, the bandage I'd stuck on with sellotape hid a mangled leg. Now I'm sitting in reception at the neurology clinic, 28 years old, and I really am ill, I swear. So I think it's true, that thing they say, if you want something bad enough, you'll get it. Thank you. I should say as well, sorry that I can't be with you all on Zoom. I'm having trouble with it on my computer at the moment. So I sent these little clips off to Dom, and he can sort of sort them out and hopefully share them with you, and maybe you could put some sort of effects on there to make me look better or something. You know, do wonders these days. This is a poem I wrote for my daughter. Letter to my daughter. Most of all, I hope you will be happy, but I hope you will also be smart, be careful, be brave. Ride on the biggest roller coaster at the fair. Don't take drugs except for your vitamin D. Drive a nice car, but be environmentally friendly. Travel the world, don't stay where you are. Swim seas and climb mountains. Go to Yosemite and the Grand Canyon. Anywhere and everywhere you want. Don't forget to call me though, to tell me all about it. Always call me. Fall in love, but be their Wallace Simpson. Find someone who would give up everything for you. When you've done all that, I hope you will look after me when I need you, the way I looked after you when you had your tonsils out. We even had a bell to ring when you wanted ice cubes and snacks, so don't you forget that fucking bell. But I'll try not to need you for a long time yet. Thank you. The morning the huge tree got uprooted. From my bedroom window I watched as the wind tore it out of the ground, as easily as a kid plucks a dandelion from the soil. I had an appointment with my therapist, and I told her how I thought the tree was symbolic. The tree is me, I told her, because I once knew who I was, where I belonged. I had a purpose, and I thought I was steady and strong. But then you came and went, and just like the wind blew the huge tree up and out of the ground and into the metal fence, you uprooted me. The council put up some tape, a barrier to keep the kids from climbing. People stop in their tracks to take photos on their phones of the tree that flew through the air. And my best friend says not to worry. I will regrow one day and be gloriously blown away again. Thank you. Skeeter Davis. I tested every bottle in every department store in town. It had become my mission to find your smell again. Ransacking shelves and glass cabinets on a floor as bright as heaven, a woman pressing a silver nozzle asked me, "What is the name of the perfume you are looking for?" But the name got washed from my memory 100 times, like the sheets on our bed went through the machine. I sat in the park, defeated. The park with black statue of John the Marquis of Bute watches over the flower beds. The park you always said smelled like cat piss. I never noticed it then. I was busy absorbing you and that perfume I resigned myself to admitting I won't ever remember the name of. I will never find that bottle. So now I guess instead the smell of cat piss will always remind me of you. I think I'll read 2 more. And then I'll leave you get on with your Zoom session, which I'm sure will be lots of fun. And good luck with everything, and I hope we can get out back into the real world soon. I think this has made us all realise, I think, how much we need each other, and we need fresh air and travel and the sky and the sea and everything. So yeah, I'll read a poem called Hunger Strike, which is again another love poem. Hunger Strike. I didn't eat in front of you for the first 3 months. I wanted you to associate me with romantic and pretty things, like vintage Polaroid cameras, old Kodachrome slides, like dark red wax seals on the backs of envelopes. Cows may chomp unapologetically on a feast of grass in a field, and pigs will guzzle nose deep in the sludge spilling from troughs, but that was not going to be me. I was going to be the feeling you get when the lights go down in the cinema, and that movie you've been wanting to see for months and months is about to start. I wasn't going to be the sound of wet spaghetti slapping against a cheek, or the brazen crunch of a crusty bread roll. My stomach grumbled the whole 3 months, but I was going to be the sound of the chorus of your favourite song playing on repeat. Christina Thatcher, the great American poet, read that out kindly on a podcast that she did recently, and of course she's got this really cool American accent, so that, she made my poem sound much better. But unfortunately, you're all stuck with me and my Rhondda accent, unfortunately. Never mind. I'm going to read one final poem for you, if I can find it. I haven't actually read for a very long time, so I'm just refamiliarising myself with these poems. This is the last one, and it's called Afternoon Tea with a Unicorn. My daughter dresses up like a unicorn, baby blue with a yellow horn, and I take her out for afternoon tea. But she is not impressed with the cakes or the sandwiches. Why are they so small, she asks and frowns, devouring each and every one. Whoever knew unicorns were so hard to please? I put an adult nappy on before we left this morning, asked her if she could see it underneath my jeans. She got annoyed. No one will notice, it's fine, whatever, Mum. I suppose it is a strange sight to see your mother wearing something that, as a baby, she would put on you. I think I embarrass her. Then again, she's the one dressed up like a fucking unicorn. Thank you.